Hello and welcome to Island Fans. I'm your host for the show, Lewis. We have a very interesting list for this evening with regards to our discussion. And to help us with that, we have Josh on the show, my boy Josh. We have Shaq as well. Um, Looks like he's a no-show in terms of picture. And we have, oh, look here, Grealish is here. Grealish is here. Well, we're looking forward to talk about that this evening. What a very interesting transfer there. Uh, my goodness. But before we begin this discussion this evening, I'll pass it over to Josh, who will be talking to you about joining the Island Fans League here. Josh.
Yeah, good evening to all fans. As you know, it's another year of EPL, and we, like we did with the Euros, have started a Fantasy Premier League. So here's our code. It's up on the screen, XA1MFH. You put that in over at the Fantasy Premier League app or the website, and you can join the Island Fans League and lose the people on this screen. You could, very well do that. Do your best. I suggest you try, as a two-time champion myself. I know what it feels like to win. But you can try, and come on and join the Fantasy Premier League. That's our code. We had such a great output when we did the Euro League. It was fun, lots of great times talking about different things, and it was nice to see another Munchie Draw combination. If you want to see that too, then we look forward to the same. So yeah, join the league. It's going to be a great season. Back to you, Lewis.
Well, he has a lot of confidence as usual. Just for that, I
Hey,
think I'm going to
Lewis,
join the league. And yo,
I was just about to say he was being very modest. I thought he was being very modest there.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
oh, he's trying. Well, just for that, I mean, I'm going to enter. I'm going to try. Try my luck and see. If I
Yeah.
could beat you, if I could come out on top, and then I'll be bragging. I'll be bragging.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have a lot to discuss this evening. And so the first topic, the first point we want to talk about this evening is concerning Messi. Is concerning Messi. Now, we all heard about the statement that was put out there. Let me just read part of it just to refresh your mind. It says, despite FC Barcelona and Lionel Messi having reached an agreement and the clear intention of both parties to sign a new contract today, this cannot happen because of financial and structural obstacles. Of course, this is due to the Spanish Liga regulations. And so, as a result of this situation, Messi, and I repeat, as it stands, Messi will not be staying at FC Barcelona. And of course, they continued and showed their regret and gratitude for the player. And so let's just open up the floor with regards to this. Where will Messi end up now that he's free?
I mean, Lewis, that's a very good question because where would he end up is a very small group because there's only very few teams that can pay Messi what he's worth. And at this point, there's a lot of names being banded around in terms of PSG, United, City. Maybe I don't think he would go to those far countries that could really pay him. I mean, some really crazy amounts of money because I think Messi still wants competition. For me personally, if I should say right now, I think he would end up at PSG. I think he's going to join Neymar and those fellas over there at PSG and give it a run. They can afford to pay him, and still, I mean, still good competition. They still have quality players around him. You see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd like to jump into and say I agree with Shaq. I think he's going to go to PSG. Now that it's confirmed the Barca's, they can't pay him and they can't give him what he wants. I think that he's not going to United. I don't think they have any intent on putting that money out there. I think they've done basically most of their business for the season as a United fan, and they're looking to sign a DM or maybe a right back if the business was to conclude. But as amazing as Messi is, one of the two goats, in my opinion. He's not going to United. And for City now, they just splashed the cash in 100 million in Grealish. As much as they may want to go for Kane, it's possible with the Pep relationship he could go there, but it just seems like PSG seems to be the easiest option. Automatic Champions League. They have a great team, and one of his closest friends, Neymar, is there, so it feels like the right fit.
Well, Grealish is here, Moy. I mean, you back Manchester City. Um, you think it'll be in your best interest, since you've just spent 100 mil on Grealish, to still go for Messi? Do you still think that you need him?
I mean, looking at what City needs at the moment, we're looking at that striker, and if Messi happens to come, City actually goes for Messi. We could implement basically like that false nine, as you would say, the same structure that Pep played with Messi at Barcelona when they won the treble and all those kind of things. But honestly, I don't really see Man City going in for Messi. I only see all these talks happening because it's Pep, and Pep Guardiola is the manager and they have a very good relationship. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just really waiting to see what exactly happens. I agree with everyone else with the PSG situation. I think even said before, shortly after it happened, I think I saw that they said PSG was making contact already with Messi and his father to see if they could land him.
Okay, but
If
let's
I could just,
consider. Go ahead,
sorry,
go ahead, go
Lewis,
ahead.
if I
Yeah.
could go in, right. What I just wanted to say quickly was maybe because he's a free agent, maybe we can't really rule out the team like City, because City could pay him his wages for a year, and he goes there on a 1 year deal. Something like
Yeah,
that could be structured.
yeah, it's not impossible. It could happen. It really, really could happen. I guess they have to ask themselves the question: are they going to give up on the pursuit of Kane, because they did want that out and out striker, and to pay all those wages, because Messi's going to want a lot of wages, even if it's for a
For
year,
a year.
and
Yeah.
and then Kane's going to want wages, and Grealish is going to don't get free wages, and everybody else they just had De Bruyne and they give him a ton of money. That's a lot of money pouring out there, boy. And yeah, if they have
And
it, I don't know more. You have it, your pocket deep, probably. I
You,
don't
you
know.
know,
um,
but earlier before Mo said something, but earlier, I mean, he
mm,
was willing to take a pay cut for Barcelona. Do you believe it is because of certain loyalty towards Barcelona? Do you think he would take a pay cut at any other club as well?
I don't see him taking the pay cut though. But to answer to the Man City stuff that Shaq and Josh was talking about. Earlier when City was being linked with Messi, they were saying that he could come to the club and these various other clubs that City own worldwide. After he finished playing with City, he could go, like for example, in the MLS to New York City FC to go and try play in the MLS and finish off his career there. So they was trying to implement a bunch of stuff to try persuade him. So I mean, you can't rule out anything, as was said.
Well, let me ask you guys a good question. I mean, let's consider his age. Don't you think his age would be a deterrent right now? I mean, he's 34. Even though he has a great history of accomplishing so many great things, don't you think that whether or not we're talking about PSG or Manchester, you think 34 is still a good age to continue?
I think if it was any other player, it would be we could talk about their age. But you have very few players who could still play well at this age, could still play another 4 years, and Messi would be one of those. Messi, Ronaldo, maybe even Zlatan, as we have seen. So for me, if Arsenal had a chance to sign Messi at this point, I'd take it.
Yeah, and
So
I
you
agree.
right.
I agree with Shaq as well too. I think the other angle too is that as much as we think that they don't think about these things, they do. Cristiano is 36 and he's still starting striker for Juventus. So I see Messi doing his best to be at a competitive team, starting every game, and a team that's actually going to win titles, so he can keep up that status that he's on that same level, as Cristiano. Because Cristiano coming back in 30 goals in the Italian league, and he's over there playing MLS. Which is why I don't think he'd move there yet. When Cristiano move, then he'll probably move then. But until then, duke it out. PSG is as I said to me, y'all know I think it's a lesser league, but they have a great team from a Champions League perspective, and they've challenged every year. So it's the best place for him to go.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring back in Messi again later on when we touch on the whole Chelsea topic. You know, I'll leave it for that. But the whole point is that you guys believe that there's still hope for Messi. He's 34 years old. He still has his skill. He still has his talent. He still has his ability. And so any other team out there would still want him, would still pay for him. The question is, where will he end up? Uh, so far, we've seen a high percentage here that probably he will go to PSG, more than likely. Moore had a few other options, and of course, we all agree if from our separate clubs, whether Arsenal, Manchester, I for Chelsea, I would, I agree. I think that let's go for him. But I'll bring it up again later on with regards to Chelsea's situation. But right now, let's move on to the next topic. The next question is who's getting relegated? It's that time of the year again. The table has been reset, so to speak. And so we see that the new Premier League fixtures are all announced. They're all out there. The countdown begins to opening day. 20 teams, 10-month-long journey. Who's getting relegated? Which team you believe will be relegated?
Norwich is one for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, there. I think I'm going to go Norwich as well. I think they sold their best player from the championship, and I don't think they've adequately replaced him yet. So, and it's rumored that Todd Cantwell could be on the way out too. So if they continue to ship out their best players, and Norwich is now one of those teams that's going to okay, they sell their best player, they could attract the next, a really good young prospect. I don't think they could do that. So I tip them to struggle. Norwich would be one of my teams to struggle from the jump.
Yeah, I agree with you guys as well. I know. I think that's the case. I was gonna say the Todd Cantwell thing as well to Aston Villa. He'll want him, and he might just go there and they have the money, after the Grealish transfer, But I was gonna throw in the hat to Brentford. I don't think they're gonna stay up. I think they want to play football, and them teams that decide they want to come up and play football, but they want to play defense, tend to go back down. So I'm gonna throw them in the hat too, as a possible team to go down. I couldn't decide between Watford or Brighton, so I'm gonna go with Watford.
Oh, three straight back down.
Um, I was thinking Watford too, Josh, but you know what's the little thing in me that says they may have a fighting chance. They have Josh King. No, he is not the greatest striker, but he knows the Premier League. He can score goals. So I think, but then Brighton for me, if they keep Bissouma, and they still have they have, what's his name? Trossard. They can keep these guys. I think they have a fighting chance. So I would go Watford too, but the jury's still out in that one. But I agree with you with the Brentford too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's very possible to see those three teams that came back up go right back down.
If
But
they
then
struggle.
I feel a little bad for all three of them. It's just like, in your heart, you just want to feel like at least one stay up. So it doesn't look
Mhm.
all that bad. But like, maybe championships look like a weak league, you know?
But
But
I know we're gonna talk about this in a second, but some actually think Crystal Palace may go down. That the
I,
change in manager and him
yeah,
trying to
that's it.
experiment, not really experiencing the league, and we're gonna talk about that in a second, might just be their downfall. That by January they're down there and they just never catching themselves.
I would.
Never
I'm
know.
looking at. They have a really good manager, but I'm throwing out Southampton.
Oh, no Danny
So,
Ings.
So Danny Ings. So Danny Ings. I mean, they had a good start to the season last year, but towards the end, they were on a free fall. So
sure,
not. I
sure.
mean, I'm not saying that they will get relegated. I
Confidence
think that
matter.
they will be in and around it, hovering
Mhm.
around that 15, 16 spot there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think so as well. I think they'll be down there fighting. Burnley as well too could be down there. We and they could be down there.
Yeah,
Duking it out. Newcastle as well. You
that's
know,
what I was thinking.
and I have issues. I shock with you with this whole Newcastle thing. Then give me a second, then we'll lose. I know we're gonna talk about it in a second, but I know how much time we gonna have. What's this nonsense? I mean, Drew can answer this too, because you back Arsenal. What's this nonsense to hear about Willock being sold to to Newcastle for 25 minutes, something like that? The
Yeah,
must
I
score
don't
all
think
them goals. The must score all them goals in midfield for Newcastle. Some of them coming off the bench. You guys need a goal scoring midfielder, and then you sell a promising young talent, possibly, if the rumors are true.
sometimes sometimes that's business. Sometimes that business because if you're looking at it, and I'm not saying I agree with the sale, but if you look at it, this is probably the time he's probably going to be worth the most money. It's still a tough midfield for him to get in at Arsenal. So if he's not going to get a regular game time,
Mhm.
then you ship him out, and it would be better to get money now for him than to send him on a loan, and then the loan doesn't go good, and you end up with nothing.
Yeah, but you don't. I know you say you don't agree with the sale, but don't you believe in his talent? I mean, I don't know the stats, but I'm pretty much guessing that he scored more goals for Newcastle than most of your midfielders currently.
He did, and
Why not bring him back?
that is correct. That is correct. But when he got the chances for Arsenal, he wasn't putting them away though. He
Some
wasn't
people
that
evolve.
successful. He wasn't
Don't
that
people evolve?
successful. Or he evolved, or maybe that's it. Maybe Newcastle suits him.
Okay, I mean, like he's a young player. Give young players a chance. The man goes on
Right.
loan, got better, and then you're supposed to bring him back into the
Okay.
squad. That's the
Okay, but
point of the loan.
let's
Isn't
not
that the point of the
confuse
loan?
goals. Let's not confuse goals with getting better,
So he didn't
because
get better.
that's not necessarily the case every time somebody scores goals.
But didn't he come in the same Chelsea preseason game? And well, I think they took away the goal from him,
Yeah,
but
he
he was
scored a
supposed
goal.
to score. I mean, like
Yeah,
you put him on loan to get better, and I'm assuming he got better. And then now the man get better, you sell the man. I mean, it seems kind of unfair. I mean, it really does. And you're going to go for Odegaard, and the man literally is doing the job that Odegaard would do. So I'm trying to figure out.
I know he wouldn't do that job, Joe Jack.
Whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
He wouldn't do
I
that job, Joe.
mean,
slow down.
he
Wow.
can't. I'm just saying, he could play 8, he could play 10.
You're gone too far.
I
I
mean,
mean,
anybody can play any position, you know. You
But
can
not
really put
everybody can play it good.
that's really okay, right, Joe. Yeah, that's really like fitting round square pegs into round holes.
yeah, but I think it's unfair when you talk about you want to invest in youth,
I
and
mean,
then you
I wouldn't.
sell the youth, and the boy do
Yeah, but
nothing wrong.
but Josh, you can't keep every youth. Look at
Uh,
we've invested in Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli. There's youth all around our team.
You would check he's not asking for a
Um,
starting spot, you know. The boy would
Balogun.
gladly come off the bench.
We invested in youth.
But he would gladly come off the bench, and you guys sell him. Sell him. Not even. Anyway, it's like me right now. I have Twanzebe in a centre back, and I go by Varane. So he turns me know he never starts. All he done say we put him out, go send him out on loan to Aston Villa. Loan. I could sell him and make a 25k, I'm 25 mil off him, but I put him on loan because my intent is what? I can bring him back. I thought that y'all give him a loan. That seems unfair to Willock.
Football is tough. That's
Bearing in
it.
mind,
Yeah, so you go.
that whole rant we just went on about Joe Willock and being sold and whatnot. You do realize all of that is just rumors, right? And at the end of the day, the player also has a choice because I mean, and he thinks about it. He goes to Newcastle. He's guaranteed much more game time there, so he might make the decision for his future. And I mean, out of respect for the player, the team would probably, just honor it because he deserves the game time. Willock has always been that player who, from midfield, when he gets the ball, if there's the slightest bit of space, he's going to take the shot. However, at Arsenal, he wasn't putting them in the back of the net. And in most cases, while we want a midfielder that scores from midfield, the thing that we were missing most for maybe the past 2 seasons is a midfielder that created. Willock is not a create first midfielder. Willock is a midfielder that is going to go and try to get the glory for himself. And as you said, he scored goals from midfield, but he scored goals from midfield for Newcastle, not for Arsenal. It's the same how we held on to what that guy's name, Maitland-Niles, when he was probably at the peak of his value in that time. And look at him now. Nobody's asking for Maitland-Niles
Right.
now. Even
It's spot on there, Joe.
yeah, even United wanted him. Wolves wanted him. We didn't sell him. Look at him now. He's just there in the team, and we don't even know what we're going to do with him. I hear they're trying to put him in that deal with
Madison.
Leicester to hopefully get Madison. Willock is a player I'd love to see get the chance, but then with the lack of European competition and so on,
Yeah,
there won't be
exactly.
much minutes. So I can live with him leaving.
All right, so fellas, we're talking about well, Josh went over talking about decisions being made by managing the team in selling, and whether or not it will be a good decision for the manager's career. And with regards to that, though, this brings us to the next question. Which new manager will go highest in the table, considering the teams, considering the decisions that have been made, considering the amount of money that has been spent? We're seeing preseason games. Which new manager will go highest in the table?
I think I'm going off of experience with Rafa Benitez again with Everton. I know there's high expectations for Everton every single season, and they find a way to let us down every year by just slumping all the way down to the bottom. But I think Rafa Benitez has and will add some experience with his coaching, so I think they could challenge for a Europa League spot for this season.
For me, I can't. I mean, Tottenham would still have a really good chance with Nuno, Espirito Santo. I look at him and I like what he did at Wolves with the whole Harry Kane saga. Now that's a whole different thing because we saw they sold Bale. I think they brought in 8 players with that Bale money, but none of them really matched up to what Bale gave Tottenham. So I'm not sure. I don't have confidence that they can get somebody that could replicate what Harry Kane can do for them. So I think, but even though they can, I still think Tottenham will finish higher. Tottenham will finish highest of those managers.
Yeah, I want to say the same. I want to throw in my hat there that I believe that's the case. But if I was to say a surprise team that would come in and be above it, I'd say Wolves. I think the name of the manager is Bruno
Bruno Lage, I think.
Large. I think you pronounced his last name. Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a good coach, and he has that Portuguese background, and he's on the Portuguese people on that team, and they have back their big striker now, and they didn't do
Oh,
too bad
Raul
last
Jimenez.
season. Yeah, Jimenez is back, and he was the brunt of a lot of their goals and basically the essence of their offense. So, I mean, as much as I know Nuno is a good coach, I think they could. I think Wolves could go higher than we expect. I'm not saying they're gonna make top four, but I
Right.
do see them. I do see them making 5 to 7. I I don't think it's beyond them. I think they're a good team, And if anybody's fighting with Tottenham for that, it's them. But I think everything's going to be lower than people really expect. I don't know if it's the Liverpool guy in me, or Liverpool hatred in me
Oh, there's
against
a
Liverpool.
Liverpool guy in you, bro.
No, it is not. But this DC and last couldn't goal this season, and they'll come
I,
10th. That's what they will be.
I
That's what
agree.
happen. And he can get fired. He could force manager to get fired, right? So I mean, that's just, that's what I think, But hey, what is in Memphis?
All in
I,
contention.
wow. Anyways, I think Nuno Espirito Sancho, even though he's technically not new to the Premier League, he's new to Spurs. But I think He probably, because from what I've seen in Spurs in preseason so far, even when they've gone in behind, they haven't given up. So I think they do well based on what I've seen on preseason so far.
And I would jump in here just quickly. I don't know if Joe wanted to go, but Tottenham would still have the better set of players out of all those teams who got new managers. Correct.
Precisely, which is what I was going to say. That's the only reason I would go with Tottenham is because of the fact that of all the new managers, they probably have the better team, and Nuno was doing good with a much, with a team that wasn't really up to par as Spurs with in Wolves. So with better players, you would expect better results.
You would expect.
Well, you would expect.
It
I
says
could be
here.
wrong.
Let me ask you guys another question here. You guys just listed basically three teams, okay? Everton, Wolves, and Tottenham, okay? Benitez, Bruno, and Santo. And Josh, you said one particular team, you don't expect them to actually be in the top four. Which team was that again?
Well, I was saying that I don't expect Everton to do as well as people think they would do. I know Rafa Benitez has experience, but I think he's past his prime or past his time.
So you don't think Everton will even make it to the top four? I mean, what based upon what? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Based upon he's gonna get fired. Based upon what Moy, aka Grealish, is saying, he believes that Everton could make it to the top four. Based upon what he said, that's what I'm deducing here.
Not,
you can correct
not
me if I'm
top
wrong.
4. 5 or 7 place for the Europa League.
5 or 7 place. Okay. And who do you guys think could actually make it to the top four? Let's not consider the amount of experience they have in terms of new managers to a new team. But who do you believe this year in the Premier League could make it into the top four?
It would be. I mean, from these teams that we're talking about.
Yeah.
From these current managers.
Yeah, from these
current the new teams.
The potential. Yeah, the potential.
I don't think any of them.
It would definitely be Crystal Palace with Patrick Vieira.
No. No.
Shocking me live, right?
Yo, Patrick Vieira is a top player. He can get the best out of these guys. And it's rumored.
Didn't he fail at all the other places?
It's rumored. It's rumored that he will also get Nelson on loan. I mean, that's a really good reason for me to watch Crystal Palace game.
And they want Eddie Nketiah.
Arsenal rejects.
You check?
I mean, yeah, but that'd be a stretch though. That was just
why Nketiah go? I'll come back and knock 6 in a year. I go ahead.
I'd be happy for him.
You be happy to get 6 from Nketiah, Joe?
I mean, I'd be happy that he finally started putting the ball in the back of the net.
Okay, but Joe, sorry there, Lewis. Sorry, Lewis. I know you have your program. But I mean, I've been holding myself back from Joe and Jamal in our WhatsApp group because really and truly, Nketiah has been our best forward player, our best striker. Let me put striker in the preseason.
Here's what I was waiting for this because here what history shows. If you've been following Eddie Nketiah as much as me, because at one point I thought that guy would be taking the Premier League by storm by now. History shows that Eddie Nketiah does well in preseason, every preseason.
Okay.
And what happened during the rest of the?
And then during the season, where is Eddie Nketiah?
Okay, I hear you, but this is all I'm going to say. I think it's time we just need to give jacket whenever that deserves to wear that jacket. If he gets the chance and he's not scoring, we ridicule him as we have been. But when he puts in good performance, we just need to say Eddie Nketiah has been good. Period.
I do that. I don't know. I can't talk about anybody else. I'm not a fan of Eddie Nketiah. I'm not a fan of Eddie Nketiah because he disappoints me very often. I once was. Yeah, well, let's not say that I'm not a fan. I'm not a believer in him anymore because I once was. Right? But when he does good, I give him praise and I always hope that he will build on it. But he never does.
Fair enough. That's one thing off my chest.
All right, no problem. All right, let's bring back up that comment there by Aiden. He says, "Imagine Roy on Sky Sports after Vieira gets relegated."
Yo,
Oh, man,
if
that'd be
he
the
have a
funniest
Yeah,
thing.
field,
they have
Wow.
these. They have these.
That would be scenes.
Yeah, it would
All right,
be.
then.
It would be.
let's move on, fellas.
One quick thing,
Go on, you
though,
want to say something? Go ahead.
Munchie is saying sell Grealish and buy Kane. Sell
You mean
Grealish.
We're going to
cancel
talk
Grealish
about
and
that.
sign
Think
Messi?
he's
We're going to talk
Griezmann
about that later
sometime.
on. We're going to talk
I
about
would
that
just
later on.
love to say, I would wish his Munchie was on here to talk about that. Just that
Oh,
comment alone.
Munchie actually has been saying since day one
Yeah,
that
he don't want
didn't
Grealish.
want Grealish, he wanted Kane.
Interesting.
Yeah, he actually kept saying that buying Grealish is for 100 million is a waste of money, and we should use the money to get Kane. He has had an agenda for some reason against Grealish.
Fair enough.
To be fair, I kind of agree with him. I mean,
They don't need
I didn't
Grealish.
need that
they
one.
really
They
don't
the Harry
need
Kane one.
Grealish.
Right.
Yeah.
We need
Interesting.
Grealish.
Aiden is saying here, would a City fan rather Bernardo leave or Marins?
Ooh.
We only have one
Bernardo.
City fan here. You rather Bernardo? Why?
Because how the current situation about it, Bernardo has been the one to be linked with all these clubs. I mean, he's been linked with Atletico from since the start of the transfer window, and Mars has been having a very good season. You know, the great Algerian king. I don't see him going. I even told Monchi this when we had a conversation about it that anybody leaving from Man City would have to be Bernardo.
Okay. Now, speaking of
Jesus.
having a good season, before we move on, I just want to talk about one particular person, Lukaku. But before we speak about Lukaku, please remember our Fantasy Premier League. The code is right there, XA1MFH. Join. We already had a lot of both comments, but well, let me not say a lot. He held back. All right. By
Only
Josh
one
saying
Smadina.
he's going to be numero uno. He's going to be number one in this particular league. All right,
Joe,
and
finish
please
it
join
up,
Alan.
Louis, one quick thing, unlike some other people on this show who like to brag about being first and then drop mid-table, I actually bragged about being first and came first. So,
Hey, listen, right?
Joe,
We feel like them bloody come after me too.
Yo, Munch
Yes.
finish above in a dog.
Listen.
Munch finish above in a
What happened was, right? I went into the Euro Fantasy League with the Premier League, the FPL, with the FPL mentality.
We ain't here for that. We ain't here for no excuses.
And it didn't work out. You understand? I went in with the FPL approach, forgetting that the Euros was much shorter and everything was,
Yeah, but you playing with Gerber people like Munchie and so that's the problem.
Yes.
You're not playing with real people. You're not playing with real people.
Well, the challenge is on. Super is saying just join. Happy to get going again. All right, I hope Super you can beat Josh this year. I'm gonna join. I'm not gonna make any promises right now, but I'm gonna try and be the champion from last year. So again, Fantasy Premier League code XA1MFH. Now, with that in mind, let's talk about Lukaku. I hope you guys are planning to pick Lukaku for your Fantasy Premier League or not. Maybe, I don't know, depending. But the question is Lukaku worth the 100 million? And the question is, will he go? Now let's not forget he was playing for Chelsea. They got rid of him. Okay, let me not say they got rid of him. They gave him away. He was playing for Man U. I mean, played a decent game, but you guys got rid of him. And now, I mean, look, is he worth it? Should Chelsea spend that much on him? Will it be a good move for Chelsea? Okay, because don't forget we need a striker. And will it be a good move? But also, will it be good for Lukaku? Justice, he wants to go. Go there.
It would be good for United.
I want
great
to
for
go
United.
You want to go last, Joe? Okay, mine is very obvious. I know y'all. I'm sure I have no idea where I'm going. I say yes. I think he's worth
Whoa.
100.
I thought you were going to say no.
I know you're going to think that, Joe. I know you're going to say that, right? That's what I say. I'm switching it up now. Watch this. He deserves everything that he get. 100 million plus is what Lukaku is worth. And I love the fact that Chelsea, who didn't believe in him multiple times over, that he finally did now have a comeback now and pay $100 million for him when they had him before and didn't believe in him. Personally, I didn't believe in him. And even though, yes, he got so for United.
But why did you get rid of him? Did Manchester believe in him?
No, I don't. I think all he wanted to play differently. And if you actually check it out, there's no hard feelings. You hear the interviews, and he says, "Oh, he wanted to do this. He helped me get out of the club." There's no hard feelings between us and Lukaku. Everything good. Everything irie with us and Lukaku. But I'm happy for him that he's finally getting the respect that he deserves because he is a world-class striker. He's been doing it too long now, scoring too many goals. Check his stats for him not to get enough respect. Everybody talking about Lewandowski. Everybody talking about Harry Kane. And start talking about Romelu Lukaku.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, he did mature as a player, but the question is, I mean, did you really think that he can make a difference on Chelsea squad? I mean, I know right now we're desperate. Chelsea is desperate. We need a good striker. Okay, you really think he can make a difference? Do you think? Okay, put it this way: do you think we should put the 100 mil in Lukaku right now, or should we wait it out until next year to get Haaland, or try and find another striker, a younger striker?
Okay, let me go ahead, Memphis.
I should take it now because, like you said, they need a striker because you're not guaranteed to say Werner will find his feet, and you really need the goals. You can't keep depending on midfield and for your defense to keep clean sheets because Chelsea's defense is very much aging, so they can't really keep depending on that.
Especially.
I think if it's a time to get Lukaku, it'd be no. He's at the peak of his powers. His confidence is high. His confidence is high. I think how many goals he scored in the Euros. He was the man at Inter. So right now you put the ball to his feet, and he's going to put a team on his back, and he's at least going to try. Now with all these technical players behind of him, I think Chelsea could get the best from him this time around.
I also think 100 mil is kind of cheap for Lukaku because if they say Kane is worth 150, Lukaku have to worth 200. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let me put this in here. Let me put it in here because Lewis, Aiden is saying Lukaku will be a good fit for Chelsea. He doesn't fit to United. He's a world-class striker. And then he went on and he said this. He rated Lukaku over Kane.
Yeah, Lukaku better than Kane. I think they both hit 100 goals around the same time, and Lukaku did it in less games in the Premier League.
Point taken.
Lukaku over Kane. Joe.
Yeah. He couldn't be consistent in it. So, I mean, if he was that better than Kane, you would have trusted in any system.
He scored goals for United, though.
He scored goals for United. And he scored everywhere he go, he scored goals. Everywhere he gone, he scored goals. Everybody talking about his first touch on the business. I wouldn't say he didn't work out. He banged goals for Everton, and then we bought him.
He worked out in the Premier League. You can say it didn't work out at United.
It didn't work out at United.
And I think I think at United it was more the pressure. At Everton he could miss. He could afford to miss and move on and go to the next game. At Manchester United, you missed and you were the headline for the week.
And then you have people saying sell you like Josh.
Yeah, so I feel like
I didn't say that about Lukaku.
I'm not talking about Lukaku.
Seriously. Right now,
I feel like he was more fit than anything else.
He wanted a different kind of offense. Because I remember Lukaku said that he knew his time was up with United when they got into the season, and what's his name? Oli decided to put him out on the left wing.
The right wing.
Well, the right wings.
Yeah, when you put your
like, what the heck?
What do I understand? At Inter, he plays on the right wing.
You see?
Look at what Curtis is saying. Curtis is saying, of course, he is. He's a great player, and most likely at Chelsea, he can only get better. And maybe he's correct, especially with Chelsea's new coach. Probably he could with what's his name, Thomas. He probably can, maybe. All right, Aiden. He says Lukaku's. Sorry, let me go back to Aiden. Aiden says Lukaku is perfect for the Prem. He just built up too much for United. Now at Inter, he lost some weight and he is playing better. No dispute there. All right, Suko says Havertz along with Mount behind
That's what I was
Lukaku
waiting
sounds
to get to.
Yeah.
promising, or having Werner running off him, it can work.
Or
Joe,
Reece James
That
whipping those balls.
That last part is what I was waiting for.
It's who they say.
Opinion, I think Werner and Lukaku would complement each other.
I agree with you, Joe. And Reece James whipping in balls on the right hand side to Lukaku to head on. It will work for them. They need to spend the money. They're trying to buy Haaland and he's not leaving. Spend the money and buy Lukaku. Proven EPL goal scorer. Makes sense.
Yeah, everybody's criticizing Lukaku over the little stint at United. And because of that, they refuse to give this man credit. And I don't
understand it though. I think the problem is United fans also too had a part to play and the media had a part to play, because if you look at the man's stats at United, they are excellent stats. The amount of goals the man score. Yeah, I know. Better than some number 9s right now that we have.
Anyway.
And so I was saying that
Lukaku gets goals.
Yeah, and he gets every week. He gets goals. Just play to the man's strengths.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do. And in fact, he should come so that it makes the league even more interesting. Because I think once he comes to, it's solidifies the EPL.
Not just that, like I was saying, I remember. And anyways, I remember the whole thing. My only thing was, depending on how high the price was for Lukaku, I was saying then maybe they're better off just going all in for Haaland then. Because if you can pay up to a certain amount for Lukaku, might as well you add the rest and go for Haaland. Because, the age, potential, and whatnot. However, Lukaku is Premier League proven, right? Overall, as a striker, as much as Haaland is a excellent finisher, same with Harry Kane, excellent finisher. Overall, as a striker on a whole, I feel that Lukaku offers more to the team than they both do, because they just score goals. Harry Kane, added the whole, hold up play and so on, especially under Mourinho. But overall, I think Lukaku offers more to the team on a whole than they all do. In terms of his hold up ability, his passing is not bad at all.
He carries the ball well too, Joe.
He carries the ball well. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to take on a player. And for a man his size, a man is ridiculously quick.
He's not slow either.
He's powerful.
So there's great potential for success if Lukaku was to go to Chelsea. Both for him.
I hope he doesn't go though. I just want to put that out there. I hope he doesn't go there.
I really hope he doesn't go too.
I really hope he doesn't go.
What you said? What more said?
I want him to come because he's not gonna make a difference. Well, he's going to score. He's going to score.
You're talking for the Champions League again? You're talking for the Champions League. You're talking about the Champions League?
I'm talking about overall. You just won the Champions League. I won 2 things last season, so let's keep it going.
Yeah, but if you lost to us, you think Grealish is going to make a difference?
So that's how you lost to Leicester in the FA Cup too.
Oh,
let's not talk about that. Let's be talking about me.
Here we go.
We're talking about the biggest trophy.
But I mean, if he come, United get the sell on money. So.
True.
That you.
Suko just made a comment here.
Yeah.
Boy, this is for you. For someone who just lost UCL.
Salty boy.
I'm not salty. I'm over it. I'm over that.
As a United fan, I want Lukaku to go to Chelsea, so that is one less person to buy Haaland next year. Works out for me.
Aiden is saying that's a good point. Why did they change from Haaland to Lukaku? They obviously don't care about price. Yep. All right. Now, with that in mind, let's move on to the next topic. And I think on this topic, Moy's going to love it because it somehow has a connection to him. The question is Danny Ings going to succeed at Aston Villa? Now,
Oh
before
boy.
we talk about this, let's consider the what happened that caused this. All right. Apparently, how the story goes, they put an we call it again a release clause on Grealish, and
Mhm,
I guess they weren't expecting anyone to pay that amount of money for him.
mhm.
However,
Mhm.
I mean,
City
they
triggered it
ended up doing it. City just went in and just bam, we want him. Deal is done,
Yep.
and it seems as though Aston Villa, realizing that they've lost a great player, needed to replace him. And so, with regards to replacing him, they ended up buying three persons to replace him, and one being Danny Ings. Now, let's consider the fact that Grealish is gone, thanks to Moy and Man City. Do we really think that Danny Ings is going to succeed at Aston Villa with regards to this particular situation or circumstance?
Part of me doesn't feel he's going to even start because
Could
they have
somebody tell
Ali
me the
Watkins.
Could somebody tell me the joke early today about Danny Ings? It was just in my mind. Somebody's had a joke today. I
It's
remember it.
more telling the
Oh, the
joke.
one that
The
was
job,
saying that
yeah.
Ah, that's
He
funny.
want,
Aston Villa
yeah,
manager wanted some signing, but they signed
they
Danny.
went to
I thought that was,
sign in.
yeah, they
Instead of
want some
Oh,
signing,
signings
but they signed Danny Ings.
I thought that was clever.
Yeah, it was. It
Good,
was.
good, good, good. But I think you start. I think it's two strike. Why they can't play two strike? Yo, why don't
because
they can't play two strike?
they have Wendy Traore, Leon Bailey. They have
Yeah. So
McGinn, Douglas
I mean,
Louise.
their strength is the midfield.
Yeah, there are two
And
strikers
remember, they
there, I
signed
agree.
Ashley Young too.
so you play two strike. You play a cam, and you stack up the midfield.
How you
Yeah,
do
but you
that?
have bare wingers.
Facts.
Yeah. So you adjust the formation. I don't see how you can not play Danny Ings. I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure out
you
how do you
play out
not
the
play him.
bench.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but
Something has happened. I mean, you can give him a try. You can give Ollie Watkins a run as I think he's earned that. And
Hmm.
then if it doesn't work, then Danny Ings gets his run in the team.
yeah, and if we're going by the numbers, then Danny Ings have more ratings than
And Ollie
Yeah.
Watkins.
than
But
Waskin is
Ali
still young in
Watkins
the
already
team.
knows the play style.
Right.
That's
And I
true.
do see I think it'll be a lot to change too, especially since it's just a week before the league starts. It's a lot to
Hmm.
change to go to that two forward system because like I said earlier,
Yeah.
the strength is the midfield and you have in not McGinn, where Douglas
Mhm.
Luiz he's still on he's still at the Olympics.
At the
But this
Olympics.
strength this strength came from that. I think it's a lot to change now with just a week to
Yep.
go.
You're right,
Hmm.
Shaq. But I see a 4-3-1-2 in his future. It could work. Yeah,
Four,
it's not a lot of
three,
width.
Yeah,
one,
but that
two.
Yeah,
yeah, that
I
and
mean,
it's not
they
a lot
really
of
like
width.
yeah, but they
It's
really
very
like
narrow.
getting the Traore in the game.
Hmm.
I know, but I
They
would
were
look at
very
Danny
expansive
Ings.
too.
I would bang more on Danny Ings banging in 20 goals than Traore. I mean, personally, I don't rate him much at all. But you
I
run a
mean,
narrow system and you switch it up. You take off one of the strikers and then you bring on the wingers and you change the system.
but
I mean, I
to
think he gives them options though, but I just don't see why you have Ali and the two of them. They're banging in goals, man. Having a look at what happened to the good old days of having a strike partnership. That it dead? Nobody
that's
done it
true. But
anymore.
at the same time, Ali Watkins is a good player. But it's good to have somebody to keep him,
Keep him
on
on it.
his guard. Put him under pressure. And honestly speaking, of the system they play already, I feel like okay, if you do a comparison of how the style of football Southampton play versus the style of football that Aston Villa play, it should be relatively easy to basically do a straight swap out with Danny Ings and Ollie Watkins. To be honest.
All right,
Mm.
here's what Aiden is saying. He believes that yes, Danny Ings will be played as long
And
as he doesn't get injured. All right, and he also says defensively too, especially with Martinez having such a good season and Euros, reminding Arsenal. So, Moy, what do you
Yeah.
have to say? Are you happy with the buy concerning Jack Grealish?
I'm happy because there's still a lot of ifs and speculations on how he fits into the team, and I really can't argue with that. But you have a player like Jack Grealish available, and you can get him for that, and you can get you're not going to get him for any cheaper, you know. But
So you're
Boy
benching, you're
say,
benching Sterling,
boy say, this man
and you
was
bench.
available. You trigger the man with his class.
he's available.
We tell you, boy.
He's available for 100 million. That's his
And I like to Aston Villa put out and say, Jack Grealish is for sale now. Then put one release clause in the whole thing. The way I look at it, right, this was always the plan. Grealish helped them to stay. Well, VAR helped them
Yeah,
to stay up. That's a whole nother
the
story.
chairman said that too.
Yeah, VAR helped them to stay up, and Grealish knew he was going to leave, so they came to, they put the little plan together to ensure that the club would benefit from it, and the club gets
Yeah,
100
makes sense.
million. The biggest signing by biggest fee
English.
for an English player. Aston Villa gets 100 million that they can keep the team going, because we know he's a Aston Villa fan, so I'm sure he doesn't want to leave the team and they just drop out. So everybody happy.
But I honestly think that this just confirms and this kind of telling everybody my opinions and who's gonna win the league next season. But I see Grealish playing at false nine. I don't see him coming off the left. I think Sterling gonna be on the left. I think Mara's gonna be on the right. I think Grealish is gonna play through the middle. That's just how it's gonna be.
I think
Everybody
Sterling would be the
else,
false nine.
Yeah.
I would.
I think so too.
I hear
It's more
you. I
likely
hear
to be
you with
Sterling.
that. I hear you with that. But I just think that Grealish is just more tidy. He's tidier on the ball through that midfield, and I see him coming off of that role there and playing off of that De Bruyne. Hey, look, the two of them can swap and mix and match. But I don't believe you spend 100 million with somebody and then tell them sit on the bench for most of the season. You have to start them. It's
But
guaranteed.
can I throw in something for Munchie? So with Grealish being signed, does this mean Foden is back to being a rotation player?
Yep.
Grealish.
Yeah. Does this mean Foden is back to being a bench player?
Well, I mean, even Southgate realized.
Well,
In all honesty, right? Let me be completely honest. I talked to Shaq about this when he was yesterday. We had a conversation, and I think I remember telling him that Foden is the one that looks to be, has to take the sacrifice at least. But then it's only so much it can happen until the fans start to cry for Foden again. And then Pep is going to feel the pressure from the fans and want him to play.
look,
In
With all
the
these
cup
players,
games.
it's going to be no, it's not going to be cup games. It's going to be a rotational system, and
look,
it's going to be a
more.
lot of competition.
That's good.
Right.
If you're banging in goals, your front three with let's just say Mahrez, Sterling, Grealish. As long as they're doing the job, they won't really, your fans really won't remember Foden. Only on
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
times they're gonna bring him up.
and I'm all for that. Once you're in form, you're good. If just like our my love of Sterling, when Sterling was performing for last season, he got benched, and Foden is playing good. I
Foden
mean,
loan. Where's the
nah,
loan Foden to
come on.
Arsenal?
Look, City's in like what 5 competitions. There's game time there, man. Game time available.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yo, City have 2 starting 11 now. Somebody has sent
Yeah.
a picture somewhere.
It's not 3 by now.
That's what it's supposed to be.
He don't want to know about the Foden loan.
Nah, that's not me, man.
Yeah,
Not
loan
happening.
him to Arsenal. They're looking for a number 10.
So, more just
Ooh.
question there, more. So, does this mean that you will still be interested in Kane since you got Grealish?
Yeah, I still think we need the number 9.
All the help you can get.
So
Wow.
Yeah, we're financial fair play when you need them, boy.
I know,
to
right?
cement, to add on to us winning the title even by more points.
Yo, we're financial
then.
fair play, dog.
All right. He's Aiden. He says, "Are you planning on doing an Arsenal podcast towards the end of the transfer window? As an outsider, is going on. They don't even have a backup goalkeeper." He says, City fans will be crying for Messi instead of Kane. Now,
Not the top.
Suka, how do Arsenal fans think about the Madison potential buy? I mean, how many Arsenal fans we have here?
One.
Just
Oh wait,
two.
No. What
Listen,
What you say about Joe? What you say about Joe?
Listen, one like what are you saying that Shaq is not an Arsenal fan?
Could be.
Because he has
The
to
man
be
Could
mistaken
be.
talking about.
the man mistaken you for Jamal Kowal, Joe. That's
Joe, you
So
can,
what do
Joe,
you
you can
Delete
take
the
this,
club.
man. Take that.
Madison, I'm all for it, you know. I actually don't have a problem with it. But to be honest, another unpopular opinion. I would actually, if we can get Odegaard back, I'd actually choose Odegaard over Madison. I know it sounds crazy, you know, Madison, a good free kick taker. We need somebody who scores free kicks in the team consistently. He's very good at that. He's not a bad player at all. But I don't know. Watching, to me personally, I think that Odegaard is a lot more technically gifted than James Madison is.
He's a better 10.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like
Pure
it's just
10.
a case that, you know, it's more a case that he hasn't been able to settle, and you know he's been going all over, so you know the consistent game time hasn't been there, because there has been signs, if you watch football and you watch the individual performances of Martin Odegaard and watch his ability on the ball, he's an extremely good player. So for me personally, I'd actually take Odegaard. You know, the three we're linked with are Madison, Odegaard, and Awa. I would take Odegaard, Madison, Awa in that order.
I'm so I gotta throw this in here. I can't wait till we start doing the debates in them when the season starts up, because I would so take you on with that right now, man. I rate Odegaard big time, Joe. I do. I think he's a
Mhm.
great player.
we
He's
know you
from
picking the English player. We know.
but
Yeah, that's why I said unpopular opinion, because
right.
naturally you would
I
look
think
for the Prem
Odegaard
proven player.
has a higher ceiling than Madison. But right now, Madison Madison can play 10 at 10 and play 8 at 10. He's just an amazing player. I
Yeah, he's a
I think it'd be better for you that I think it'd be better for you that Odegaard would be right now.
Odegaard. I don't know, boy.
It
For me
just
personally, the
straight in
style of
the
football
11.
we play, the style of football and so on that we play, I actually find Odegaard to be a better fit.
Could
Well,
it be
it is
Joe?
saying,
Could it be Joe because sorry, Lewis. Could it be Joe that because you've seen Odegaard in our
Yeah,
system already?
that's right.
Well, we can say that too, but then at the same time, Madison plays in the Premier League. We know what he brings to the table. And again, this is not, you know, me shutting saying that, you know, I wouldn't take him.
Right.
Either one, I'd be fine. I mean, if we go and splash some car. And then that's another thing too. Madison, 70 million. I bet I spend 35 or 40 or how much they want for Odegaard and buy Odegaard. I
English
don't
well,
guys.
it is the
I
same.
don't think Madison is worth $70 million, personally.
Well, Aiden is saying Madison would be good for 50 mil, but he won't go for less than 70 mil, based on what you're saying there. And he says, does buying Madison for Smith Rowe
I was gonna
to the
ask the
left
same
though?
question. I was
And
gonna ask the
where,
same question.
as
To be
Odegaard,
honest,
they can share the 10.
I don't think they gave Smith Rowe the number 10 to put him on. Well, I don't think he'd play on the left because I think that's our spot. So I honestly don't think Arsenal are gonna buy any cam, to be honest. I think they're gonna stick with Smith Rowe. That's why they gave him the number 10.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, Madison does prefer to play the 8. And I mean, if you look at how we played, Odegaard was brought in as a number 10. And if you look at how we played Odegaard and Smith were together, it was a case where throughout the game there was never really a clear number 10. They both interchanged a lot throughout the game. The same can be done with Madison and Smith Rowe.
Mm.
All right. Well, we've, of course, discussed so much for this evening. We spoke about Messi. He's right now free. We don't know where he will go. We're thinking PSG. Man City doesn't mind buying him. No other team minds buying him. See that he's 34 and they still think that he still have a lot in him. We spoke about teams that potentially could be relegated for the new season coming up, and which manager will go highest on the table. We spoke about Lukaku and his 100 mil. Is he worth 100 mil, and will he go to Chelsea? And Danny Ings, as well as Jack Grealish. Now the question is, what will happen for the new season? We're looking forward to see what will happen. And please don't forget to sign up for the Fantasy Premier League by putting in that code XA1MFH for Ireland fans. So far, it has been a great and a wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching Ireland fans. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you're watching on YouTube, click that subscribe button. Click the bell to get updates on our latest shows. This is Ireland Fans, for the passion of the game. Good night.
Thank you for watching Ireland Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Ireland Fans, for the passion of the game.